Hello everyone, welcome back to our gaming videos. And yeah, it's been a while, I know, but I haven't found the time to do more playthrough videos. Now we'll try to get Fall of Saigon on the table, and hopefully you're going to enjoy this video. I have noticed there are not many solo videos about Fall of Saigon, so I thought I'd start making one of these. And Fall of Saigon, for those who are not familiar, is a sequel to the very well known and popular Fire in the Lake coin game by GMT Games. So yeah, Fall of Saigon covers the period where Fire in the Lake ends. So it covers the Paris peace talks and this situation afterwards through to the final fall of Saigon in 1975. So what you're going to do, of course, you need a copy of the original of the Fire in the Lake to play this. And let me tell you that this video is aimed at people already familiar with Fire in the Lake. So if you're not familiar with Fire in the Lake, of course you're welcome to watch, but I'm not going to explain the whole game. We're just playing the scenario from Fall of Saigon. So there are many excellent videos out there for covering Fire in the Lake. It's one of the most popular games, so yeah, you should watch these videos first. So this is the expansion rules and the scenario. There are 4 scenarios. The 3 of them actually expand the main Fire in the Lake game. So instead of ending the game after the final coup, the players continue to Fall of Saigon. So there are medium, extended, short scenarios, and there is a special scenario, the Black April one, which covers after the situation after the Paris peace talks, and it involves just 2 factions, the ARVN and the NVA, and it's a 2-player, of course, and it covers the final battles that led to 5 years of battles that ended up in the fall of Saigon and the de facto end of the Vietnam War. So this is the scenario, the Black April, that we will be trying out in this playthrough, and we're going to try the solo version. Fall of Saigon comes with its own bot, the Tyson based bot, and it is specific to the Fall of Saigon situation scenario. You can't use the Tyson with the main Fire in the Lake, and the bot, either the trunk bot or the flow charts, can't be used in the Fall of Saigon. So we're going to be using the Tyson solo, and there's a special, you can see, special non-player 8 card just for the Black April scenario, which we'll be using. I think its format will be well known to anyone who has played with the chunk bot or other similar bots. There are the cards. Let me show you. These cards are way bigger than the, just for comparison, than the standard cards. They call it, I think, tarot-sized cards. Yeah, I think it's a welcome change, at least for us that struggle to read the small print there. But okay, so this video will just cover it's just an intro. Well, I think I have already done the intro, and it will cover the initial setup of the game. So let me remind you, it's setup for Black April with solo with one of the factions managed by the solo system of the game, and I think I will be playing. I will be playing as ARVN, and yeah, well, we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I'm going to be playing as ARVN, and the bot will handle the NVA. So what you need to do, we need to do for the setup, the scenario setup. I mean, the expansion rule, you have to be familiar with the expansion rules, and of course with the rules of the game. And there are only the rules that are different from the rules of the original games. So yeah, bear this in mind. Also, there are some, as in other boards, terms, golden rules that modify main rules and the expansion rules. So we need to be a little bit careful how we apply these rules. So the setup steps are a little bit modified by Tyson, and of course the main setup is here and the expansion rules, but it will get modified. So that's the setup for the scenario. We're going to be playing 2-player. It's Black April, fight for the remaining land. So 2 factions only, NVA, ARVN, and we'll use the 2-player sequence of play. So the Paris peace talks have already happened. They have resulted in US retreat. The US is not at war. US posture is in effect at 2, and we'll see at the setup. So we add the NVA and ARVN armor and the additional ARVN base rangers to their respective available forces. And as far as victory goes, it goes to it's the same, I think. Nothing much has changed for victory. Okay, no, sorry. There are the victory conditions. Black April, set them aside. So yes, we'll do that, but okay, I think that's enough of the intro. Let's start setting up the game. So let's do the setup. First thing we do is get the Tyson NP faction. As I've said, I'll be playing ARVN, and NVA will be the non-player faction controlled by the system. So we need to get the Black April 8 card for the scenario, and the 6. There are 6 big size cards for the bot. So we just shuffle them face up. Face up means this little tank symbol. If you can see it, this is face up. The other side of the card doesn't have it. So we just pick the cards, 6 cards for each faction. So we just, well, let's shuffle them as best as we can. Okay, I think that's enough. So yeah, that's our solo bot deck ready. So let me put it aside, this card, and now we have to prepare the Fall of Saigon mini deck, and this is common in all scenarios. The Fall of Saigon mini deck is used. The difference in Black April is that only the mini deck is used, whereas in the other scenarios we use the mini deck along with any other cards that have remained from the normal, let's say, play. So any cards that have remained there, we get them together with the Fall of Saigon cards. In Black April scenario, we only use these cards, and if there were players, actual players in the game, first we would each player would draft 1 card from the available. I mean, the cards are for 3 years. Does it focus? Yeah, that's 1973 deck, 1974. I have already shuffled them a bit, and yeah, and 1975.
Okay, so each player gets one card from each year, drafts the card, so and another 4 are then randomly sorted in. This doesn't happen when you've got a non-player faction in Black April. You've got only one faction, so we do not draft. We randomly select 8 cards for each year. So yeah, I have. You can see the back of the cards is different from the main game. Well, it's to be only the big setup. So okay, let's do this. 1973. Let's shuffle it. So we're not going to know what we're getting. Another difference worth mentioning is that there is no next upcoming card. You don't reveal the top card from the deck, so it's just the card that's on display that is played. You don't know what's coming up next. So it's 24 cards for its year, and we get to draw 8. So there's, I think there is a lot of variety. There you can get some events you'll get multiple times, but some events may not be present in any game. So yeah, okay, as I've said, this is just semi-tutorial, semi-playthrough, so don't expect any grand strategy on everything to be perfect. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's 1973. Putting it aside, face down, of course, so we don't know what we have. Let me get this. I don't want to mix them up. You're not supposed to mix them up. So I have already shoved them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1974. Let me get these out of the way. And finally, 1975. So it's here, and now we get the coup cards. There's one card for each year. 1973, the Watergate. 1974, Nixon resigns, and 1975, the final card in the game, Saigon stands alone. And since we're playing solo, we can't achieve victory until we reach the end of the game, which is this card, until the final coup, as it was the standard also in the main game. When you're playing solo, you can't win until the end of the game. So we get its coup card, and we randomly shuffled between the bottom. Yeah, the order is important. The bottom 4 cards. So we get it here, the bottom cards. So I'll give it a quick shuffle. I mean, it's so difficult to shuffle 5 cards, but I'll do my best. So that's 1973. It's ready. It's always on the bottom 4 cards. So you've got some things going before you draw a coup card. So yeah. I want to mention that there is a vassal module for the game, and the latest edition, version number 3 of the module, has also everything you need to play the Fall of Saigon 2. I have tried it a little bit just to prepare for this one. So yeah, if you're familiar with vassal, that would be good. So that's 1975. It goes to the bottom. Then 1974. I hope I haven't mixed them up. And 1973 on top. And this is our Fall of Saigon mini deck. This is the deck which we will be using throughout the game. So let me put this aside. And the next step, the resource cylinders, as in the main game. Also, we don't use our resource cylinders for the known player faction. So only resource cylinder is for ARVN, so I will put it there. Oh, of course, I forgot to mention that for Saigon uses some extra tiles, so let me set them up on the map right now. Okay, the one is the US posture track, which is used according to this. You can just put it aside by the board. The instruction suggests we can fit it over overflow B. Well, yeah, it's the fish. Oh, well, it's 0. Northern Cambodia is 0. So yeah, okay. Well, not bad. It will maybe, if it's not very practical, maybe I'll change its position, but for now it will I think it's okay just for now. So, and since we're playing a 2-player Black April scenario, no matter if we play human players or we're using the bot for the solo play, there's a special initiative track tile, so which is this one. As you can see, it has just two legible factions, and what they do is determined. We don't use the symbols on the cards, like let me get a pivotal card. Yeah, this is a pivotal, so it doesn't get shuffled. So we don't use these symbols to determine who goes next and who has the initiative. We use this tile, which functions similarly to the original table, and we'll see it in during play how it functions. So let me put it in its proper place. So that this is where this goes. Well, it's obviously not a perfect fit, but well, anyway, it's the place we have get used to place our cylinders for eligibility. So yeah, I think it will be okay. Well, anyway, it's just you can place it anywhere else you feel more comfortable. So that's and I think that's it. So yeah, and then we proceed with the let me see what the quotation says. Finishing setup, resource cylinders, okay. We will not use the NVA cylinder. Finishing setup, set up all NP faction forces according to the Black April scenario instructions, and I think this goes also to the players' forces. And yes, let's start setting up the rest of the game normally. So next step in the setup, we now take the 24 captured and destroyed armor. As you may already know, this expansion adds armor to the game, representing not only armor per se, but also the more common use of mechanized and support and armor, of course, by the combatants during this period. So we've got other rules for capturing enemy armor. So these counters are, yellow for ARVN and red for the NVA, of course, and they're to indicate the captured armor. Armor is represented by these wedges. Well, maybe, yeah. Sorry, not much tank-like, but well, it bears resemblance. And of course, red for the NVA, yellow for ARVN, not for the NVA. So there are also 24, 16 are standard capture, but there are also me show you the destroyed. Come on, focus. Not sure. Come on. Okay, it says destroyed here, and sometimes when you try to capture armor, it can very well be destroyed instead of captured or anything. So yeah, it seems it's a random fact. So we put it's about it's another 8, 16 captured and another 8. So it's what 1 in 3. It will be destroyed. So we get a a mag, an opaque, any opaque container will do. I didn't have any other, readily available. So in they go. Yeah, I'll shuffle them and draw as needed. But for that, I think I'll leave that here, since we're not using no VC faction, no VTCOG faction for Black April. So let me leave it there. So next, okay, well, 2 factions, 2 player sequence. Okay, now Paris Peace has been already happened. So US posture is in effect, and it is at 2. It is also marked with a start. It says start there. Let me get this out of the way. So yeah, it's 2, and there are 2. Let me try and zoom in a little bit. Yeah, so you can see that there is a track, and there are 2 areas. The upper one, it's for the ARVN, and there's another one row there that it's marked extended, and it's for the US, how the US posture affects US operations in Fall of Saigon. However, Black April, we don't use the lower row because there is no US faction. US has retreated. So now let's get to we add NVA and ARVN armor, additional VA, ARVN bases and rangers to the forces available. So let's do that. So yeah, this is armor 8, 4 and 4. Extra armor will put the rest of the available forces later. So this is the NVA armor. Let's do the same for ARVN. So yes, ARVN gets, as I've said, 8 armor. They also get an extra 2 rangers and an extra 3 bases. I'll leave them right here. Not enough space, of course, but okay, we'll place them. This is in addition to anything they've got in the base game. So let me tell you that in the box there are 1 extra each, so there are more 1 extra armor for each faction, and an extra base and an extra ranger. Okay, I'm happy there are spares, and also a couple of spare counters for the destroyed and captured. So yeah, don't get everything on the map. You only get 2 rangers and 3 bases extra. Not everything you find in the box. So yeah, that's it. So we have already added the tile for the extra. Now it instructs us to place the leader here, Gen van Vier. So okay, let's not pretend I know how to pronounce, but yeah, this guy is going to be the ARVN leader, and he's a stabilizer, so he has no effect. Well, okay, let's I'm going to place him there. So in the proper spot. So let's place the markers on the track, and we've got aid is at 30. Okay, there's no icon there in the game. Patronage 20. So resources, NVA would get 15 now because you're playing with a bot. No resources for the NVA, for the non-player faction. ARVN gets 30. This is the resource cylinder. War weary, yeah, that's where's the war weary counter? Let me find it. Yeah, here it is. War weary measures how wary North Vietnam is of the war. So yeah, it starts at 15, and it has an effect on their victory conditions because, as you can see, for the ARVN nothing changes. Their victory is measured by coin and patronage. So this starts at 42 because when we set up, that's how much coin and patronage there is. But the NVA now uses a different victory counter. It's does it focus? I don't think it focuses, but it says NVA plus bases, same as the base game, but it has minus war weary. So you subtract war weariness from your score, and yes, in the back they kind of explain it. So this goes at 6. Starts quite low, and they explain it in the step. It's 6 because it's 13 areas NV controlled plus 8 bases. They've got 8 bases on the map, but it's a minus 15 for the war awareness. Okay, so rest of the markers. The trail goes at 3. Yeah, starts. This is over here. The trail starts at 3. Yeah, quite high. The US posture we have already placed the US posture at 2, and I think we have the game instructs us not to use the economy, the support available post bases, and yeah, I think that's all the markers there. And now let's place the initiative. The NVA is first eligible, so you see there is a special place here for the first eligible. ARVN, of course, is the second eligible, and what the second eligible will be able to do depends on where the cylinder will end up in this initiative track, of course, depending on the decisions the bot will make. And of course, you can see here we've got Tuye as the ARVN leader. So now we have the we just need to populate the map to get our units, our troops, police, and everything on the map, and mark the position, the control of the areas, and all that. So yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing next, and it instructs us to put aside the US troops bases and the Vietcong. Of course, they're not participating on the in this game. So yeah, I'm going now to place the various units and mark the control and opposition or support in its area, but I think I'll do it off camera. There's not much point to watch me do this. I think it will be a waste of your time, but just you know how it is done. It's pretty clear. We place these in the available. There are also capabilities, and yeah, maybe let me place the capabilities first, and then I'll place units. But for the units, it's pretty straightforward. For each area, a couple of areas. They say, for example, here you place, it says it's coin control, it's neutral, no support, and you place 2 troops, 2 police, and 1 ranger, and the same goes for it's one of the areas in the game. So let me place the capabilities first, and then I'll do this. So capabilities wise, we place shaded, which shaded benefits the NVA, the AA guns, the long range guns also, and this SA2s. These capabilities are at the start of the game based on historic events, I suppose. Also, we place the unshaded, which generally benefit the coin factions. We've got Arclight, we've got Armored Cavalry, and we've got PT-76, the unshaded side of it. So yeah, I think it's clear. Also, the game instructs us, and it's wise to do, to keep the relevant cards aside, because these cards are normally used in the Black April setup, but it instructs us to keep them handy for reference, to reference the relevant capability. So put them aside and consult them as needed. So yeah, that's it. So let me set up the units and show you how the map looks after that. So this is how the map looks like after setting up all the pieces, all the troops, police, rangers, guerrillas. As you can see, only ARVN and NVA, because it's the Black April scenario. And yeah, you see that the ARVN has got some control over the cities mainly, and in some areas, but you can see how the NVA forces are, are quite impressive, and how much military power they've got. Also, since we're not going to be using the VC faction, I think their holding box is perfect. The cards fit perfectly there. This is our deck, and we're not going, as I've said, we're going to just draw the card and start, and we're not going to reveal the next card. There's no upcoming cards. So I forgot to mention, each faction gets its own pivotal event for Fall of Saigon. That's a retrenchment for the ARVN, and you can see that it's playable after Watergate, which is one of the coup cards, of course, and if NVA, and it's the conditions there, and of course it's the same Spring Offensive for the NVA, pivotal event, and again it's playable after Watergate, and if the other, of course, preconditions on the card are met. So yeah, that's our setup, and yeah, I'll just grab my NVA is first eligible. I'll just grab the Tyson cards, reveal the first deck, and start playing. But I think that I was wrong enough. This is the intro and setup video for the Black April scenario, Fall of Saigon solo mode. So yeah, I think we'll proceed with the first cards in our next video. So that's all.